just a view. I brought my husband some sandwiches and some Easter buns while he was doing some tractor work, and it was very windy, so I have had to put mute on. But just, it's a glorious Easter Sunday, and the farm is starting to green up. Hello, welcome back to Farmer's Wife Homestead. I'm Stacey, if this is the first time we're meeting, and hello to all my loyal followers. Now, I'm not quite sure where and how to start this, but I want to address something, and I want to get it over and done with in this first part of the video, because I try really hard to not be a negative person, and I try to live my life with the glass is always half full kind of an attitude. But today I got really bummed out from a comment from somebody, and I just want to quickly address it. So, yeah, this isn't easy actually. So anyway, I'll just quickly tell you what they said. Okay, they started by saying something like, "Dear, maybe you should book a dental hygiene appointment." And I just found it incredibly rude. I actually blocked the person. I am very much a believer in, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. And starting the sentence with "dear" doesn't mean to make it any nicer to say something like that to somebody, because at the end of the day, can you hear it? I've got my windows open, but I'm not cooking. Anyway, back to the, oh, please go away. Can't believe I'm getting anxiety over flies now in my kitchen. I live on a farm. I literally cannot get rid of them. Anyway, I've spent 5 minutes getting rid of them all because they just drive me crazy. So please excuse them for the last 30 seconds or minute, whatever. Anyway, getting back to what happened. Yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I know that me putting myself out here in the forum of YouTube and on social media, that I'm going to get haters. I'm going to get people that are going to say hurtful things and some not so nice things, and I'm here to say it's not okay. It's not okay to be rude. The space that I have created here, firstly let me say that putting myself out has not been easy, by no means. I'm a very self-conscious person. Sorry. But I do it because I really enjoy it and I love it. Sorry. Whew. I know that I'm not going to be able to stop these types of comments and people, and that's fine. I have to learn to have a thicker skin. But please understand, and I'm only answering this question because most of you probably don't know I have a condition called trigeminal neuralgia. I will leave the link at the end of this video and in the description. It means that I live in pain 24/7 of every day, 7 days a week, 352 days of the year. I am on medication. The pain is worse when brushing my teeth, but I still brush them twice a day. If I have any dental work done, I have to be put to sleep. Eating, drinking, smiling, laughing, wind, cold. These are all things that affect me and my pain. Stress. Yeah. So, please don't be nasty. It's not wanted and it's not warranted. I would love to have the best teeth in the world, but I don't. Anyway, that's all I want to say. If there are negative comments, I get negative comments about my stove, my kitchen's not clean enough, it's too small, this, that, I don't know. I could put a video on a box of fluffy kittens and somebody would still dislike it and hate it. So yeah, like I said, I do this because I love to and because I really hope I am helping people, and that's who I am. I will always be that way. So anyway, negative out the way. And I want to say thank you because 99.9% of you have left me with such amazing comments and love and aroha and support, and it fills my heart and it fills my teacup. So I want to say thank you. Alright, so with that out of the way, got my phone, and about a month ago I asked on my community tab if anybody wanted to do a Q&A, and I got quite a lot of replies, and I thought I would answer some of those questions. Initially I wanted to do a live, but that's just not going to happen at this point in time. So I thought, well, I'm going to address those nasty, hateful people and let you know that I'm going to block you, and I don't care. But in the meantime, let's answer some of these questions, hey? Let's turn this video around. Right. I probably should have my glasses. ELT.214. Where were you raised a farm girl? How did you meet your husband? House tour, garden tour, and yeah, so that's quite a few questions. So were you raised a farm girl? From the age, I think, of roughly 9, my father went away and learnt how to be a farmer, and then we lived on farms until I was about 17. Yes, I would have been 17 when I had to get rid of my horses, and we moved into town. So yeah, for a big chunk of my most of my teenage years I lived on a farm, and then I also did a bit of dairy farming with my first husband, and we lived on a farm then, and so, you know, like some of the children had some wonderful time growing up on the farm. And then okay, so yeah, and how did I meet my husband? So yes, my husband Carl, who you have seen or heard in some of the videos, he and I got married coming up 7 years ago, and he's kind of the reason why I named this channel Farmer's Wife Homestead, because I always wanted to be a farmer's wife, and I never thought that I would ever get to be a farmer's wife, and here I am. So I'm extremely grateful to be living where I am with the most amazing, beautiful, perfect human. And we met on Tinder. Yeah, I got out of a really bad relationship, and some of my kids said, "Hey mum, let's put you on Tinder," and he just popped up, and I swiped right, he swiped right, and within 6 weeks we were engaged, and within 6 months we were married, and he's amazing. Love him to pieces. House tour. Probably won't get a house tour, simply because I respect the privacy of my husband's children. And garden tour, yeah, I have done some garden tours, but due to my knee issue and back issues that I've had over the last few years, it's non-existent. But I am hoping to get to more garden videos as much as I can. Right. Didn't mean for this to be a bit of a crybaby video. Some lovely comments on my dahlias. I love flowers. Sweet peas are my favourite. Sweet peas, jasmine, and liliums, the Christmas lilies that have that beautiful smell. Love them. And now I'm a dahlia person too. Right, to answer a few questions. See if I can balance this. Right, I'm out on the farm at the moment. It's a bit windy, so I've got my hat on for my TN. But Tonya has left not a question, she just left a lovely comment, and she says, I love seeing the garden, the chickens, the sheep, and the property, so I would like to see that. So I've popped out just to get a little bit of footage to go with this Q&A and give you some more views of the farm. There's so much more to it. Like, I haven't even shown you the other side of the farm that's on the house side, and we've got and we also lease, I think, 3,500 acres of forestry, and it's beautiful in there. So one day I'll take you in there as well. Hopefully this isn't too windy. Okay, right. Okay, so EMB4415, where do you live? Where did your love of cooking come from? Love to know more about your upbringing, family, and farm life. So I've already answered where I live. So we live in the Waikato. Where did my love of cooking come from? Great question. My mother was a beautiful cook. She cooked, so much beautiful food growing up, all from scratch, and being a farmer's wife too. We just had those good hearty meals and that sort of stuff. So I didn't do a lot of cooking with her in my initial teenage years, but I kind of sort of watched a little bit and learnt a little bit. I mostly learnt myself through having a family so young. I mean, I had my first baby at 18, so I was a young mum, and it was out of necessity really to learn how to cook from scratch and on a tight budget and stuff like that, and that's where it came from. And then I volunteered my time and I taught young mums how to cook, and elderly gentlemen who'd lost their wives and didn't know how to cook, so I volunteered my time doing those sorts of things. And then I got a cafe and a food truck, so I had a catering business, and I really loved doing that. So that's pretty much how I learned. My upbringing, yeah, I've kind of covered that with my farm life. Do I work off the farm as well? I was. I got a new job November last year, but due to this knee injury, which is 3 years old. Unfortunately, they didn't deal with it back then, so it's now at the point where I have to have surgery to try and fix it. So no, I'm not currently working. YouTube is my full-time work now, which I'm absolutely so blessed to now be earning a little bit of money to help keep the wolves at bay. Now, and thank you for watching my ads, because that's how I'm able to earn some money, and some very generous people have sent me super thanks as well, and really you don't have to, but it's very much appreciated. What do you produce and cook from the garden? Just found your channel and love seeing a Kiwi farmer cooking videos. Yeah, so not a lot from the garden, unfortunately, but I am a very capable gardener and love to garden. It's just with physical, my physical, injuries, I just can't. And of course with my TN, I can't when it's windy. So unfortunately this was far too windy, which was funny because this clip is showing you the trees that are growing sideways because it's such a windy spot of the farm. So as you can see, it's extremely windy, and here it was windy as well, and I'm like just adjusting my head coverings for my TN, and I realized that you cannot hear any of this. So the question was from Smelly Belly, and it is, what part of the country do you live in? And I said it was the North Island, and we live in the Waikato, and there's a lot of dairy farms in the Waikato, but what else was I saying? Oh, I think I said something along the lines of, oh, yep, my dog's on the back and she wants to get off and run. Stace, do you have tips on freezing food? I find dishes with pasta potatoes don't freeze well. Maybe it's in one of your other videos. Okay, great question. And we will cover this more in the big freezer meal batch cooking video that I have planned for in April. But to quickly answer your questions, pasta, if you undercook it, when you reheat it, it's better that way. If you overcook it, then your pasta can turn to mush. The other thing that you can do is just do your meat part or your sauce part and cook the pasta fresh, so that works well as well. And potatoes, yes, depending on how you freeze the potatoes. For instance, I've found that potatoes done in a soup, they don't freeze very nicely when thawed. But if you do prepare the potatoes properly, and you can see that in a couple of videos, I will link them in the description as well, then you can freeze potatoes and they don't get that grainy taste. Okay, let's have a look at some more questions. Okay, do you have any hobbies like knitting or hiking or volunteering? Okay, any hobbies? I say my hobby is this really, kind of, even though it's now turned into my work. It was my hobby because it was a creative outlet. I wanted to create something to give people some free resources to learn how to cook and to cook from scratch and things like that, and to garden once we get to the gardening. So yeah, gardening, cooking. I do a little bit of knitting, but I am a learner, very basic learner. I used to ride horses as a teenager. I was a competitive horse rider. Very much loved that. I have a horse, but she's pretty much a paddock mare, and I rescued her, and she's an ex-racehorse, and I haven't been able to ride her for very many years because of my back injury and my knee injury. So one day, hopefully. Other than that, love to read. Yeah, that's about the hobbies. Hiking's definitely out, although I do love, you know, going in the bush and stuff like that. Volunteering, I have done so many different volunteering things over the years, some of which I've already mentioned, and I started my ambulance career as a volunteer. So I'd worked my full-time job, look after, I think I had 4 kids still at home. I was a single woman, and I volunteered. So I'd do my full-time job during the day, and then I'd go and volunteer at night on the ambulance to work my way up to a qualification to where I could get a full-time position within St John over here. And I did that for about 7 years until my trigeminal neuralgia stopped me from feeling like I could safely do my job anymore, because the medication I'm on doesn't make me feel safe to be driving at speeds, and it also it stops me from thinking of words, as you will see in plenty of my videos. I get brain fog from my medication. It also makes me feel very, very tired. So yeah, long story short, I love the movie Julie and Julia. Yeah, I love that movie too. I love watching movies. How about foods or dishes if you were having a family dinner or a birthday party? Do you have an easy recipe for potluck, or for work bring a plate? And who are my favourite chefs? Gosh, so many great questions. I've actually left quite a few of my favourite dishes that I love to share, like sausage rolls and things like that for potlucks, and maybe I could do that. Maybe it's a great idea to do a video on great dishes to share for potlucks and family dinners. My favourite chef, okay, I've got a couple. I love Jamie Oliver, and Jamie Oliver, I've got a lot of you know, Pete Evan books from back in the day. Love Gordon Ramsay, Nigella, oh gosh, so many. Oh, Annabelle Langbein, she's a Kiwi chef. She is really on top of my list, and I really love Nadia as well. There's probably plenty more that I forget. Oh, this is a great question from Richard DG 2935. With a budget of 200 and a whole day's prep, what meals could be made for new parents that are quick and easy to eat? Also, what staples would you suggest in buying in bulk that have the most crossover in use? I have done a video, a pantry staples video, so hopefully that answers some of that question. And what meals could be made for new parents? Freezer meals. They are your best friend. So I have a couple of videos already, so check those out. And next month, as I said, there will be a really good freezer meal video. I'm not going to tell you much more than that, because I hope you're going to love it anyway. Just somebody else asking for a live, so that's cool. I will do those when I can. Okay, I'm very new to growing garlic and onions. I'm wondering how to start yours off, or do I buy seedlings? I start mine from seed, and yeah, most years I start mine from seed, but sometimes I do buy them from Awapuni nurseries. They are based in the Manawatu, so check them online, and if I'm too late in getting them started, I then just buy big bulk bundles from them. So I usually try to plant at least 300 to 400 onions a year. So that's hopefully will answer that question. Claire Walters would like to know some food ideas when it's boiling hot in Perth. So I used to live in Perth for 4 years. I did my OE with all my children, and we were over there, and it is very hot, so I understand what you're saying. So I would recommend doing freezer meals. I know I harp on about them, but if you can cook them in the cool of the evening and then have them in the freezer, then that stops you from having to have everything going during the heat of the day, and you can just pop something into the oven and heat it up real quickly. So I would recommend freezer meals for the heat. How old am I? I am 51. I will be 52 next month. Love to know popular dinners eaten in your country. Okay, so it used to be roast lamb. I think every Kiwi home would have a roast lamb on a Sunday, but unfortunately it is now far beyond most people's budget. So a roast lamb, a leg of lamb, would cost us easy $45. Last week they had them on special for $9.95 a kilo. So they were around $20, so I know lots of Kiwis went and bought them. So yeah, it's really expensive over here now, which is just, yeah, don't get me started on the fact that, you know, we can't buy food and fruit and vegetables and dairy products and all these amazing things that we produce for so many other places of the world, which there is nothing wrong with that, but we have to pay premium prices for it. Yeah, enough said. Andrea, I see you, Andrea. My question is, will you ever plan a visit to the States? And if so, will you make time to visit a friend? Wink face. Andrea, you've been around for quite some time on the channel, and yes, I would love to visit the States. I have a couple of dear friends now that I've made through my channel, and I would love to come and see you guys. I have had a trip over there before. I visited Hawaii and LA and Vegas back when I was 25, and yeah, so I would love to make another trip over there. Do I have a PO box I can share? Would love to send you an apron to add to your collection. That would be so amazing. Of course you don't have to do that, but a PO box, I inquired about it, and it's going to cost $300 to get one, so I'm saving my pennies to get one, because yeah, I would really love to be able to write, you know, and if anybody sends me a letter, I can write back to you, because I love old-fashioned writing. I miss the good old days where you used to get pen pals and you'd send letters, and yeah, so I'm definitely getting a PO box hopefully next month. Have I made yogurt? Everyone says it is easy. Yep, I love to make homemade yogurt. I haven't done it for ages, but when I do, I will make sure that I get the camera out and film it for you. Have I ever done any cheeses, or are they complicated? So on my list of dreams to get is also a house cow. Husband says no problem, yes, we can do that, and I've just got to find the right one. So yeah, I would love a house cow. That would be so amazing, to be able to do all my own butter and cheeses and cottage cheese and cream cheese and sour cream and ice cream and all those amazing things. I would love to get a house cow, so yes, on the list. And then yes, I will be doing cheeses. Have you ever made sourdough bread? If so, what's the recipe? I have tried it. I tried to get a starter going. Just didn't work. But I get asked this question quite a lot, so I am definitely going to try again, and I will make time to make a video on it very shortly actually, and we will try it together and we will learn together, and yeah, I look forward to that. I think this is the last one. Just wondering, what do you do when it comes to baking cakes? How to bake cakes with good quality, but not compromise on some expensive ingredients. It takes a lot of butter and milk and eggs, etc., and they're all becoming more dearer. They don't have chooks, and they live in an apartment complex. Sorry, I'm just going to read this. They're glad to see that that we make bacon without the nitrate. So yeah, they've just gone on to say that bacon, eggs. I mean, most of the staples are just so expensive now. So the only thing that I can only real advice I can give you, of course, is just to try and buy in bulk. Try to buy when things are on special, and just try and cooking from scratch if you can. You can substitute oil or butter for applesauce. I think applesauce also can be an egg replacement. So hopefully I can still continue to give you some new ideas through the videos that I put out. Alright, I think that is about it. I think I've harped on for, I think my camera's telling me 9 minutes. And probably a bit longer than that, but thank you for your questions. I may have missed one or two, and I'm sorry if I have, but I've just letting you know, next month I am trying to stick to an upload schedule, and I would like to have videos out Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. Of course, if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday, and I will try and take the weekends off. I think, for my own mental health, it's good for me to have a couple of days where I can rest and not think about, putting out videos and stuff like that. So thank you for staying, if you've stayed all the way to the end of this video, and sorry that it started off on a negative note, but I really do appreciate every single one of you, and I hope that you are well and that you've had a wonderful Easter weekend. Alright, take care, and I'll see you on the next one hopefully. Bye for now.